Alrighty, so I'm back today with another episode of our Tropico 6 Tourism Island playthrough, and we are on to episode number 3. Now, in the last episode, we kind of roughly made it through the Cold War era into the modern times era, and we ended up making our island completely net positive, which is really good, especially for tourism, because we're past that critical point of ever having to struggle with money again. So in this episode we can just focus on setting up everything to be very good for the rest of the run. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so here we are, and this is what we set up in the last episode. Plenty of tourism, and we're starting to make some really good money. So in this episode, first thing I'm going to do is try and deal with our foods. All our different food things going on. I think I might leave this one single power plant up for the rest of the run, just to make things a little bit easier for a while. And something that would probably be pretty smart to do is to set up an El Presidente club alongside... like if I do the El Presidente club, then we need to kind of combat... what is that called? Corruption. We need to find a way to combat corruption, and there's only one way, which is to, I believe it's in the government, the corruption agency. So we're gonna need to, and the reason I want to do that is because building certain buildings like wind turbines, which is how I want to set up most of our electricity, doing a lot of the same buildings will make certain factions really upset, and so wind turbines are going to make the conservatives very upset. So there's like all sorts of stuff that we need to kind of keep an eye on. The religious faction doesn't look like they like our cabarets and nightclubs. And so there's just a lot of little things that we gotta try and stay on top of. Yes, so we'll probably invite conservatives and religious. I don't want to invite more than 2 people into the El Presidente Club, because at that point we're going to be generating more corruption than I can probably deal with our corruption agency, and the corruption agency is going to consume knowledge. So on top of all of that, we're also going to need a research lab, because this will generate us more knowledge than we can consume, and we're going to need all of that for any additional researches that we want to do. Cold War era, we want to start unlocking some certain edicts. National Day will be nice, gig economy, and there's some other ones that'll be really nice. Customer service. I don't know how effective these are going to be, but they will kind of definitely work well with an entire island set up with tourism. So there's all of that. That's kind of like a bit of an overview. And so what I want to do is start dealing with these right away. It'd be nice just to set them up good and then not really have to worry about it any further. So I want to set up our first chocolate factory to sort of get an idea of how much cocoa and how much sugar we're going to need. And it'd be nice to set up a total of 5 of these and then only overshoot the production we need by just a little bit. So that way they'll never run into any production issues. They'll always be having all the cocoa and sugar that they'll need. And that will be nice. So let's go ahead and set up our first one here, I guess. And as a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and quick build it just so we can get an idea right now of what we're going to need. So 4640 cocoa and then 3480 sugar. And of course we can switch this to dark chocolate and it will double cocoa production, or the cocoa input, and it'll get rid of the sugar input, but I'm fine doing both. That's okay. So I know for a fact 3480 is how much a sugar plantation will produce. 3480. So each of the chocolate factories here, they're going to need their own sugar plantation. So we're going to need a total of 5 hydroponic sugar plantations. And of course, all of these sugar plantations over here are being used in the nearby rum distilleries. So we need 5 on top of these 3. It'd probably be pretty smart to set these all up close to each other so they can give each other the bonuses of the sugar plantations. Sugar plantations have the bonus fiber fertilization, so it'll give a 20% bonus to efficiency to the other 2 plantations. And then on top of that, it'd probably be a good idea to set up all of the food. There's only 3 food types that you get from plantations. So that will be nice, and then it would be a good idea to replace our fisherman's wharf with an actual fish farm. We can build two, one for normal fish, one for shellfish. Now, I've been kind of yammering on about our goals here, so let's go ahead and start doing some stuff. Now, I want to kind of find a really good spot, and maybe here, maybe this could be a pretty decent spot for it. Can we send the little, what's it called? Telepheric station over this is my question. Oh, you can. That's pretty nifty. So as you can kind of see, like none of this is connected. There's like clips and stuff we'd have to like boat across, which might be efficient, might be kind of annoying. I mean, we're probably gonna have to do it anyways because we have goods that need to be moved. So let's go ahead and set up a Teamsters port right here. That's a pretty good spot. And let's go ahead and build a road leading up this way. Okay, perfect. So now any goods produced over here can come down to this Teamsters port and get sent right to our dock. So that's really nice. Alternatively, something we could have done is put the dock over here because we're not really going to be producing anything out here really. I guess the rum, but that's going to sail over here anyways, but this is fine for now. Now let's go ahead and do all of our hydroponic planning, but another limiting factor is the fact that we don't really have that much electricity, and I don't want to build any more power plants than this, so let's go ahead and get the El Presidente Club now. We definitely have the funds for this. We'll go with that spot. 7,500 to quick build it. I guess that's okay for now.
Construction was finished today on Tropico's exclusive new El Presidente Club. And if all you listeners are wondering what it looks like inside, then don't.
Then do not. That's pretty funny. Okay, so I'm not sure what the budget's really going to change. Efficiency, scales, job happiness. So we don't really need to change job happiness too much. We could probably even go with the lowest. Yeah, you get a 100 job quality out of this on the max budget, but we don't need to make these people like any more happy than like 75 is really good. So let's go ahead and do the conservatives. So invite a conservative, and then once and forever, the standing of the conservative faction gets set to 70 and does not change. So that's really, really good. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, we don't need to worry about anything that's going to make conservatives upset for the rest of the run, as long as we keep a conservative in there. So this means we can build all the wind turbines that we want. So that is pretty nice, because they're the only faction that is really going to get upset by that, at least I'm pretty sure. And so we want to put this up on as high of an area as possible, and it looks like the only elevated spots are going to be here, so I'm kind of thinking we sacrifice all this land here to just make a giant wind farm. That could be decent. So let's figure 1, 2, 3. Wow, look at that. So 3 there. Let's go ahead and quick build these 3. And we're probably going to need to connect these two. Everything else, I reckon. So 95 here, 35 there, so that means that they're not quite close enough to interact with each other, but as a matter of fact, I think I can game it up here a little bit and get everything connected. Perfect. Okay, so as long as we quick build just this one, then everything should be sharing a power grid. 162 spare megawatts, really, really good. Let's go ahead and max these all out. That's up to 194. These are going to get kind of expensive, especially on this max budget. So 44 times 4 is like, I don't know, like 170 something, I think. And so already that's kind of expensive every single month, right? But I'm definitely willing to put up with the price, especially considering the fact that we should have pretty much an unlimited source of money as long as we continue to expand our tourism. But for now, we're going to suspend the expansion and focus on production. So hydroponic plantations, let's see what they require. 30 electricity, and so each one of these is producing 40. Over 40. No, 40 exactly. So we pretty much need 1 wind turbine per hydroponic plantation. Fish farms take 10, so that's really nice. It's not much. Factory farms 25. Okay. So let's go ahead and start setting up some of our initial plantations. So I think that like this is probably best. And let's go ahead and probably be smarter to set up the road first. Let's build it all the way down. Plantations, sugar plantations. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. Now, there is enough sugar for 3 of our 5 chocolate factories here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and set up just 2 more. Sugar, I'm thinking these ones kind of just straight up behind it. Ooh, you know what? This is probably best. So there's all the sugar that we're going to need. Let's go ahead and set up some corn. Just 1 thing of corn. It'd probably actually be a good idea to do 2. So now we have 1 of every food type. Let's go ahead and do a second corn so that way we can feed our animals in the factory ranches. And we're spending a lot of money, so what's really nice about this though is this is all net positive. Like, this is all going to generate money no matter what. So totally fine to spend money doing this. And now we're going to need a total of 5 cocos. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we fit 1 here? Yes, perfect. Okay, so this is all the plantations we're going to need. So let's go quick. Let's go and quickly see. So 194 spare megawatts, right? So that's roughly 5 plantations worth, I believe. At 30? No, that's a little bit more, right? That's 6. Yeah, it's 6. And we just put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we have 6. So that means we need roughly around 8 more of these wind turbines here. So let's go ahead and place them down. Everything we're going to need. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty expensive. So now what we should do is go to these and put them on high priority. I don't want to spam quick build these anymore. We'll just let everyone construct this all slowly. Put it in ×4 speed and watch our planning come to fruition. So let's go ahead and get all the power done first, and then they'll come through and do all the plantations. We just quickly need to make sure that this is all hooked up to the electrical grid, which it is not. So we're going to need to build up an electric substation. Let's go ahead and just slap it here. Quick build that, that's fine. And so, even though we spent all this money, our money should be going up every single month no matter what, which is really, really ideal. And this means that we can go through and demolish literally every plantation. I'm gonna wait until we're done with at least all of these being set up. And so then once these are all out of the way, we'll set up the ranches that we're gonna need. I'm probably gonna do the same setup here, which is, what is this, 2 on goats and 2 on pigs. And then that should be all the food, all the plantations, all the ranches that we're gonna need for the rest of the run. We'll just need to set up the fish farms, which will take 2 seconds. And they don't require much electricity, so we'll probably have enough as long as we're kind of overshooting the amount that we need, and that'll be fine. So even though we were down to 10,000, we're up to 23,000, and that will continue to grow forever, which is really good. And once all of these plantations are set up, we'll be producing lots and lots of money. Let's go ahead and quick build the Teamsters port. Leave it on this budget here, I reckon that's fine. And we just need things to be built up. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and spend this time while things are happening, and let's do a bit more planning. Now. Yes, so I definitely want to fill in all of this, so that's why I'm focusing on this so early, amongst just having it done and producing, setting up all these other plantations, but it'll also free up all this area here. And that was what I wanted to finish by the end of this episode, is have this entire island here. Maybe even down to this little, like, what is that, peninsula? No, this isn't a peninsula. Either way, all the way down here, have this all set up. We might do, like, a bit more production or something out here. Just because we already have, like, it split. All this stuff over here seems like it's going to be production. Maybe also poor housing for our population could be good. Look at that, 73... support, that's really good. And we should invite an sorry, not an environmentalist, but a religious person into the El Presidente Club as well, because it looks like they are a bit upset. Let's go ahead and see why. Cabarets, so yeah, we'll invite them, and then we'll choose the option that lets us build whatever. And so that should handle all of our support needs for the rest of the run, which will be good. And just like that, we're up to 50k again, so that is the power of building tourism. Definitely one of the best ways to make money in this game. Everything else is going to require just like a bit more I don't know, not risk, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Like trying to go for offices, that's going to require a lot. Like you need to set up colleges, and it requires a lot of electricity. Tourism, you can just build up hotels, they don't require any electricity. And then just a bunch of simple tourism buildings. And just like that, we're up to 126k, so we are going to be very, very well off for the rest of the run. That's nice. Considering the fact that we're making so much money, let's go ahead and just start quick building this all up. And usually doing that right there will make the conservatives very, very upset. And alternatively, not alternatively, but what is nice is the environmentalists. I think this is making them happy. Yep, it's wind turbines. And so, like if you average out all the standings with our factions here, it's going up, right? Because conservatives, it's stuck at 70, and the environmentalists are actually becoming quite happy. So that's why our support's going up. On top of that, our happiness seems to be doing fairly well, at least. Okay, so that's all done. Let's start quick building up some of these. Let's do the sugars first. Right here, here. Let's max out the budget on all of these. And then...
Modern miracle? Public nuisance? Or a cause of cancer? Let Canal Uno know your opinion. Call it now.
let's quick build 3 of the sugar plantations, and these will be the only ones that we're going to put fiber fertilization on. Because beyond these 3, there's 2 more that we could do it to, but they're not going to add any additional efficiency, so 3 is fine. Bananas, I mean, I guess we can do the small parcel growth, that's fine. Selective breeding, definitely want to pick that up on our corn. We should have done it to the other one as well, but that's okay. Inoculation, that's nice, so a 30% increase to the cocoa plantations, and we have all of them done. So there we go on all of that. And now's probably a good time to actually go through and demolish all of these plantations out here. Okay, very, very good. So that's all dealt with. Let's go and demolish up all this road, all these roads as well. And let's go ahead and start building up the factory ranches over here. And we might as well get done with our fish farm as well. 2 fish farms. First off, let's go ahead and do the factory ranches. Let's do... We're not going to need as many because I think the factory ranches are literally twice as effective as a normal ranch. So we could probably get away with just like 1 pig and 1 goat. So there's that. And then what would be nice is to go through and do green waste chopper on all of these buildings. So $2,500, but by the end of the run, we'll actually be making, like saving money on this upgrade. So $2,500 for now, or $25,000 I think. And over the course of time, we'll definitely be saving some money. So that's okay. Let's max out the budget on these. Overfeeding, that seems fine. Vaccinate our animals. And mechanical milker seems okay. Sugar plantations are good. Pineapple, we don't have more than 1 pineapple plantation. I talk about this sometimes on like 2 of my runs, 2 series. Pollination parcel would be really, really good if you do, like, see this circle here? If you filled in as many, like as much of the space as you possibly could with pineapple plantations, and then you gave them all pollination parcel, this modifier right here, this 3% bonus, I think stacks infinitely. So that could be a really, really good idea. And then that would give you an infinite amount of pineapples to put into your canneries, which means that you would be making a lot of cans, potentially canned goods. That could be really, really decent. And okay, so there's all of that. So let's go ahead and set up the fish farms, and all of our food needs are going to be done and dealt with. Let's cancel one of these because I think what I need to do is change one of these to shellfish. There we go. So let's go and quick build those, get them done. And let's go ahead and quick build all these plantations. Okay. So we might need to hire in people for these job sites here. I didn't build up any additional wind turbines, so we definitely need some right now. 2's probably enough, I hope. Max out the budget on all those. Yep, we're up to 121 spare megawatts. Very, very good. Max out the budgets on these, and so these are going to give a well-off wage, which is really nice, a wage of 10. Previously our fish farm was, or the fisherman's wharf, giving a wage of only 7, so let's go ahead and demolish that now. I believe this is also a fairly ugly building in that it decreases the beauty nearby. Maybe something else, oh, you know what it might be too, is this substation, so let's go ahead and actually relocate this. Let's relocate it. Oh, look at that, we can do it way over here. Let's relocate it to here, I guess is fine. Give it a little bit of time, and I'm curious, how is this affecting the beauty? It doesn't seem that good. Maybe this Teamsters port is also kind of ruining it. So let's move that down as far as we can here. That seems fine. And we can move the tourist port actually over next to this, I think will be okay. Spending a lot of money, but once we spend this money, making small adjustments, we'll never really need to spend it again. Okay. Now, beauty. It still seems low here. I wonder why. I don't think that the funfair pier is actually going to decrease it. Maybe is there pollution nearby? Yes, sort of. That might be what it was. I'm pretty sure. If we read pollution, pollution builds up over time, mainly caused by industrial, followed by residential buildings. It decreases beauty and fertility. Okay. So, I mean, I kind of hate to do it, but we need to deal with that pollution somehow. And the most effective thing is going to be a waste treatment facility, which I reckon is probably going to decrease the beauty in the local area. But, well, I believe that pollution will go away over time. And so why we want to affect the beauty next to this funfair pier is that it actually scales with, yeah, beauty increases the efficiency. And we can see location minus 2%. But if it's a very beautiful area, then location will actually give us a bonus. So that's why we want to do that. And this building should give a service quality of over 100. However, we're dealing with the mandatory siesta edict, which is giving us a penalty. But we should still be able to get this over 100 if we are efficient with it. Now, we have our plantations done. So pig, we can see 2320 is what's coming out of it meat wise. And if you go over to the factory, yeah, look at that, 10,000 meat from one plantation. That's pretty wild. Let's go through, turn off, allow local consumption on all these buildings. Looks like fish farms actually have a default of not allowing local consumption, which is kind of interesting. Bananas. Pineapples, and I believe, did we do 2 corn? I think we did 2 corn, yeah. So that should be everything, so. Alrighty, so at this point we can definitely afford to demolish these 2 pig ranches. And we're also going to want to do... Oh wait, we already got the goat, so let's see. 2320 milk. And here we get 9,000, 3 times as effective, I believe. And so that is nice, so let's go ahead and demolish this one as well. And just like that, we are looking pretty good. So let's demolish all these roads up. And now we are poised to fill in this area with as much tourism as possible. Now, before we get into that too deeply, I definitely want to come through and make sure that all of these job sites are going to get filled in. So as you can see, 61 high school jobs need to be fulfilled. All these uneducated people, we can put them into the tourism industry, so that's totally fine. But as a matter of fact, I want to go through and start hiring on a bunch of people from off the island. And so I'm willing to hire like all the people onto this because once people are actually working in these buildings, then we're going to be making money off of all of this, right? Because everything our population is not using, we're going to be selling. So it's all going to make us rather quite wealthy over the course of time, of course. Let's get all of these in. And we'll just skip anything that isn't production right now. People will move in and they'll start filling in these jobs. On top of that, anyone that was working in a job that required no education, they should slowly switch over to the high school jobs because I'm pretty sure they'll get a better wage and a higher job quality. Let's see what's the lowest. Let's go ahead. Oh wow, look at that. Everything is up. That's really good. 53 on housing happiness though, so let's go ahead and focus on that. Praise faction. I think we'll go with the strategy of choosing the lowest one for the rest of the run. So communists are the lowest ones right now. Don't need to blame no one. We have at least above 50% support. And we don't need to promise anything, so we'll just skip over that for now. Okay, cool. So we just hired in a bunch of people for the job sites. Click on the broker. I've listened to those speeches so much at this point.
You know what names are good for? They're good for getting you arrested,
Yeah.
Presidente. Well, that's not my game. My game would be business. Which business? Hey, what have you got?
What have you got? Now, unemployed. So there's 74 uneducated, unemployed people and 0 jobs for them to fulfill. So let's go ahead and check in on some buildings real quick. Tourism, hotels, that's only 4 job sites, so we need like 20 hotels. But that's not a bad idea, trying to get somewhere in the realm of 20. But on top of that, I don't think that we're going to be able to pull in more tourists than we're actually, than are trying to leave. Because the tourist port has like a cap. I believe it's 200. And so if we grow the tourist population up really high, then it can get to a point where 200 people are leaving as 200 people are showing up, and so we would need another tourist port. But let's go ahead and start throwing in some hotels around here. Let's go ahead and do 3 here. I believe is probably okay. Kind of like the idea of doing something like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and quick build these. Kind of chipping through the money very quickly, but I think we'll be alright. Let's go ahead and do a job site. Let's try and find a luxury entertainment building that has the most job sites. Casinos, I don't really want to do this right now because we don't really have educated population. And educated population, same thing with the cabaret and the theater. Nightclubs, that's only 4 job slots. Let's check out entertainment. 4 uneducated. Movie theater, same thing. Roller coaster, even less. Circus. We can do 1 circus right now. Not like the greatest building, actually kind of a terrible building, but I mean, I'm down. It's okay. Let's do it right behind the theater. Yeah, that seems like a good spot. Go ahead and quick build that. Very cheap building anyways. And let's go ahead and max out the budget. Make it for tourist only. I've never made a circus for tourist only, I don't think. Beast and Blood. Visitor slots are decreased to 5 per employed worker. The fee increase is increased by $2. Wizards and Magic. Visitor slots are increased by 1. Decreases service quality by 10. Beast and Blood definitely going to be better, I think, because the fee increase, of course, with tourists is going to be even more efficient. Fire protection system, not really worried about that. Service quality of only 58, which kind of sucks. Yeah, but let's go ahead and do it. So let's research this building. Should be pretty easy to research. Only 250 knowledge points, that's fine. Come down here, Beast and Blood. Brings us up to a fee income of 75, that's okay. Really only worried about the job slots. So let's go ahead and check in on the numbers. 21, so we're chipping away at it. So that's going to bring us down to around 50. And we'll just need to keep on doing this sort of thing. Let's go in times 4 speed. All of this should get filled in very, very soon. And we're definitely going to need some new... Ooh, you know what? We don't even have... No, we do. Teamsters ports, or Teamster offices. We have 2. That's rough. I should have definitely focused on that a bit sooner. And you know what? We can actually use this to our advantage because we need a lot of job slots right now. And so I think what we'll do is do a construction office. Do more hands on this. And that will make it so that we get 8 job slots out of that. And let's do 2 Teamsters offices here. And then we're going to need a bunch of... We'll try and make everyone well off. I'm not sure how viable that's going to be, but we'll give it our best shot. Let's do the construction office now. Go ahead and quick build that. That's okay. Max out the budget, and let's go with more hands. I should have done it to the other one as well. Oh, it already has it. Okay. Max out this budget as well. efficiency scales, the construction rate at construction sites, that's good. And I'm fine paying these guys a bunch of money. We're making so much money that should be okay. No one wants to work in the theater. That's alright. I mean, it was making us good money, but other buildings definitely are making more. Let's check on these casinos. 40k, 37k there. Restaurant 20k. Cocktail bars usually are pretty good. This one's been here longer. 19k, that's alright. 32, 50, 60k. So nightclubs definitely are the best money makers so far. They have a very high service quality, which means that tourists are always going to flock to them. That's very good. Oh yeah, and these ones are actually for our population, so that's nice. Kind of dipping down in support, which isn't great. Oh wow, look at that. What happened to all of our happiness? Like all of a sudden it's like tanking really hard. Yeah, what happened there? I'm not too sure. Maybe food happiness. Yeah, food happiness must have been going down. Do we not? Uh-oh. This could be not bad, but not ideal. I don't think we have a single... No, we have one grocery set up over here, I believe. Yeah. Let's set up a new one for these guys, though. Kind of struggling for space here. Max out the budget. That's fine. I kind of want to do canneries as well. All the fish can be turned into canned goods, as well as our pineapples. Just by default as well, so we don't need to do anything special. Just set up the canneries. Oh, look at that. We're already making chocolate. That's really cool. Even on the max budget, only have an efficiency of around 100 because of the mandatory siestas, but that's okay. Increases job quality by 20 points for a cost of 15 megawatts. Job quality is already 84, so we could have a job that has a job quality over 100, which could be pretty decent. This is our first chocolate factory. We actually have enough chocolate, or enough production, for 5 right now. And this building doesn't require electricity, so I think we set them all up now. I don't want them to be like all right here, you know? So I think what we might do is set one up over here. And getting these all done now, right now. Getting them all done now, right now. It's going to be really nice because, again, I don't really need to worry about this anymore. So we got all of those. Kind of want to do one here, but I kind of don't. I guess that's fine. So what is that? 1, 2, 3. Did I set one up over here? Yeah, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. We just need one more. Go ahead and set it down. I should have done industrialization, the industrialization edict. That would have been smart, but we're already here. I'm pretty sure that chocolate can be sold in the groceries as well. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's really only increasing the fee income. I don't think it increases service quality, but not gonna complain. This is why I hate building like curb roads, because like it's gonna leave a bunch of gaps in the concrete and stuff, but I guess it's okay. Does the chocolate factory? No, it doesn't require a high school education, so that's even more jobs that we're getting done here. Look at that, we're down to 30. Really, really good. So after the rest of these construction, the rest of these chocolate factories are done. And I could also do, let's bring up the budget on these offices because, you know, we don't really have enough to deal with everything. But we could do second shift on all of these as well. 10k, let's do it. Okay, so now we have, that should be enough Teamsters to deal with everything. And I think we're ready. I think everything's done. So that's what I wanted to do at the beginning of this episode, was get us to this point here to where everything's cleared up. We're producing all the chocolate and all the food types except for what we need in industries: juicery, creamery, cannery. Creamery we can set up, cannery we can set up, juicery we can set up. We can set up all the food types in the whole game. We already have both types of fish and shellfish, so we're pretty much home free. But I'll save those 3 industry buildings for the beginning of the next episode. And also what I want to do at the beginning of the next episode is set up all the raid buildings. There's 4. Real quick, I'll show you what they are. Raids in military, we have a commando garrison, pirate cove. I already built this, I guess. Spy academy, we already have that. That's really nice. And cyber operations center. So we need the commando garrison, cyber operations center. Once we have all of those, that means that we'll be able to do one raid with each of these buildings and get some heist or another. I talked about these, I believe, in episode 2. And so I've already decided on all the buildings that I want to get. And so we'll focus on that next. But maybe what I'll do now is try and get the Colossus, or the Colosseum of Rome. Could be good. That's going to require that we definitely have... Oh man, our happiness is tanking so hard. It'd probably be... we should be okay with one grocery. Let's see what else we're going to need. You know, it would probably be a good idea as well. Let's go ahead and just do a hospital. 35 spare megawatts. Let's see how much we have real quick. We have enough. So let's go ahead and set up a hospital. That'll be nice because yet another thing we don't really need to worry about. It's not symmetrical with this cathedral, but we'll send it anyways. Let's put this on high priority just in case, well, no. Construction workers are already on the way, but just in case there was anything else, they would focus on the hospital first. So hopefully that makes a pretty decent dent in the healthcare needs. Fun happiness, we're gonna need this to go up. So healthcare, honestly, the healthcare buildings that we have, I'll probably leave them for the rest of the run. But like I said, Colosseum of Rome, food and fun. That's all we need to really get up. So food's definitely on its way there. We just need more groceries. Set up those industry buildings, and we'll set up more canneries than just one. Right, so we need creamery, cannery, juicery. So we'll set up as many canneries as we need to get the service quality of our groceries over 100. So let's see what this one's got. It's got 8 food variety. And oh no, it's only got 3. You know what this is? This issue is... Oof, man, I don't like that. Let's go ahead and, as a matter of fact, go into the edicts and we'll do tax cut. 43 up to 60. Boom, just like that we win an election for only having to spend a little bit of money. Okay, let's check job sites. Just like that we have more jobs than unemployed people. So that's very good. Try and get employment down to 0. And I guess for the rest of this episode I'm going to just build up all of the tourism over here. So any money that we have, we're going to be spending it on that. Let's go ahead and get the tourism port done first, because this is going to ensure that we have enough tourists to always be filling in our hotels here. Now we have a space here, and what I want to do is build up some sort of entertainment. Let's do a restaurant. Restaurants are going to be affected most efficiently by our broadcast tower, so definitely want to set those up. Go ahead and throw in a park here. We could probably do this one. Let's do a 2x3 here. Can do that one. Boom. Just like that. Let's max out the budget on these, put them all on Hotel Camarote. Come over to the economy and we can see current tourists. We have 579 tourists, but tourist capacity, we actually have more room than that. This isn't factoring in, this is like, sorry, this right here, the occupancy rate. It says 400, but that's 400 like tourist families, right? So current tourist is higher because, you know, families are more than just one person. Alrighty, so I just checked the recording and there's roughly about 20 more minutes left of recording time for me. So let's put it in ×4 speed and we should be making money, like 100%. Yeah, look at that. It's always going to be climbing up, which is really nice. So even at the end of the month, still climbing up, and this is before any of our exports are actually going out. So right here, 56,000. We barely win our election. That's okay. We'll try and focus on keeping them happy. Yeah, look at that. In just a couple of months, we made like $70,000. And tourism is going to get better and better. It'll get to the point where we're just like placing buildings as fast as we can. So what I'm going to do for the rest of this episode today is, let's actually go over to the Pirate Cove. Let's put this on Rescue Mini. Let's do a bunch of these. Now, for the rest of the episode, as we gain money, I'm just going to start placing buildings like crazy, just as fast as we can. And that will be very nice. And also what we can do is expand our wind farm a bit. So let's put this on ×2 speed. I feel like that's a decent speed. Not too slow, but can definitely focus a bit. Holding shift and control at the same time lets you quick build and place buildings at the same time. It's a pretty nifty trick at times. 225 spare megawatts. So let's go ahead and start placing down some buildings. Even in this menu, I definitely want to let it play because that's just more money for us. Let's get a bunch of additional hotels done. So I'm thinking maybe one here. Can do one here and I guess one here. Yeah. So then let's go ahead and throw in some buildings. Let's do some more hotels. Or not hotels. I like the restaurants. Yeah, let's just get the cram all the way up. I think that's okay. Max out the budget. All of these can be changed to kids menu, which is nice, and we can put freezers on all of them. Or in all of them, I guess. Max out the budget on all of our hotels and change their work modes as well. And yes, so just keep spending our money until we run out, and it'll definitely stoke the fire quite a bit. Just more hotels for now. Suppose one here isn't bad, and then we can flip it around and do one here. Let's go to the other side, do that, and then flip this one around. Cool. Try and keep up just a little bit of symmetry wherever we can. And let's actually rotate this building. Just so it's more pleasing to look at. Low rebel threat, that's not good. Because if any rebels attack, well, I talked about it previously. If rebels attack, the palace can deal with like any minor rebel attacks. And then even like a large one, if you bump up the wages, and let's get more guards now, but the palace is actually quite strong. Like it can deal with a bit of a beating. Not too many like bites too quickly because it takes time for it to heal up. And so you definitely don't want it to get pounded by a bunch of rebels like just too consistently, because you will end up losing. But for now, I guess we're fine. It would be nice if there was a way for me to deal with this, with these rebels. I really hope it isn't. No, there's no reason that we should get a foreign spy. +2 from, oh, our charismatic trait, that's nice. Ooh, the religious faction. Maybe it's the religious faction that's getting really upset with us. So let's go ahead and actually go through and hire a religious person here. Invite them to the club, and we're going to do build whatever. So this is a lot of corruption. So before we get too far into it, I guess there's one additional thing that I do want to do. Let's set up a research lab. This is going to be quite pricey. Not like upfront, well I guess upfront and over time. But that'll be nice because that's going to be a lot of knowledge generation. We could get rid of our library. This is costing us 123 a month. Yeah, let's demolish that. We don't really need it. So there's a research lab. And let's go ahead and do our corruption agency. Also rather quite expensive up front, but that's okay. ×4 speed. We should still be making good money here. 2 tourist plots. Going to do flower lay dispensers. Ooh, 76k we just made. And as a matter of fact, it'd probably be a good idea to do customs office here. Let's go and put this, I guess, over here by the lake. And let's do an immigration office just to help out bringing people onto the island. And we can do this one here, I guess. Quick build both of these. We have the money for it right now. Get them done now. And open doors. Yeah, let's leave it on open doors, I guess. Security controls definitely want to detect if we get a foreign spy, which I don't think will happen. I don't think that happens if your foreign relations are all up. So we shouldn't have to worry about it, but it will be nice to know if one does show up. So let's go and do that. We can maybe do... we'll focus on trade a little bit later on. Try and get like one really good deal on chocolate with a very high volume. And that'll be a lot of extra money made over the course of like a couple of decades. For this, we don't need to do tax evasion quite yet. The reason I want to get the customs office is tourist fees. Every tourist arriving on Tropico pays $10 on base efficiency. So we need workers here, but we'll have probably over 100% efficiency, and in doing so we should make more than $10 every time a tourist shows up. And as you can imagine, right here 97 tourists showed up times 10, that's like what, $1,000 every time a tourist shows up if these numbers stay this high, which is pretty nice. Go ahead and hit play for a second, and corruption agency, let's max out the budget, leave it on fight corruption.
Social media polls reveal 117% satisfaction with everything. The numbers do not lie.
They do not lie. We can do hospitalization wing in the hospital. Makes sense, and it would probably be a good idea to try and make most of the island well off or better. Let's make sure all these are on their max budgets. Same thing with the factory ranches, as well as the fish farms. Okay. Let's check our vacant jobs. We have a lot of vacant jobs right now, which is decent. It's always good to have more than you need, but having 83 is quite a bit overkill. And it looks like many of the people that were working in the plantations are actually quitting their jobs for something else. So let's go through and hire on people until we're at least not in such a precarious position. Oh, that's a lot of money. Okay, I'm content with that. That's alright. And now we just need people to move in, which is why we set up an immigration office. More people are going to be coming to live here. And that's why we're doing the rescue raids. So now, hopefully that is all of the T's crossed and all the I's dotted. And we can focus on tourism for the rest of the run. Hopefully. So it's $2,000 we just made from tourists showing up. Now, what we can do is go through and throw in some parks amongst all of this. I'm not sure if... Oh yeah, that stupid divot in the ground. I'm not sure if the hotels are going to benefit from having a higher beauty nearby. Would be nice, but definitely an unknown for me right now. Guess we can go through and check. A 2x3 here. That one seems fine. 2x1 here. That's okay. We can do something a bit more thought out. Let's go ahead and do the very unique and the very cool 2x3 park with all of the cool looking neo architecture. I'm not sure if architecture would apply to a park, but let's go ahead and do that. 2x1s we can throw in, I'm thinking these ones with benches on both sides. Oof, oof. Triple oof in a row. A critical failure. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so this is all done now. Can't fill in that spot. And let's try and fill in all this. 120k. Lots of people that... A whole lot of people that aren't moving in as quickly as, like, I wish. It would be really nice if we could fill in these jobs, like, as quickly as we're making them. And on top of that, we're actually running out of space for our population to live. So... let's go ahead and take into account the wages that people are making. So a bunch of well-off people don't have homes, which means that it would probably be a good idea to build up some apartments. So let's go ahead and make like a little apartment complex down here. I think that will be fine. Can do one there, one here. Let's actually cancel this one. And let's build it one space back. We can fit a 2x3 in the middle. Or a 3x3, so let's go ahead and do this one. Let's quick build these up, max out their budgets. Later on we can bring these down to somewhere around 50, like the middle budget, because we need the Colosseum of Rome. I keep wanting to say Colossus of Rhodes. But as a matter of fact, let's max out the budget here. And now we'll save all the raids for next episode. I was going to start on the Colosseum of Rome, but that's fine. That's so funny. We have two very silly looking clinics here, but that's probably okay. Go ahead and do another 3x3. We can do a square this time. And let's do that one. That seems fine. Okay. So this is starting to look like the loading screens of the game. You know, like curvy roads, like everything's kind of gapped out. A bunch of space in between, but as long as we're making money, then I'm rather content with it. So no one wants to work in the theater, that's as to be expected. And I guess I should just wait, kind of sit here and look at this screen. And as we are gaining additional people, oh, rebel threat went down, that's good. But as we're gaining people to work in these jobs, that's as we'll build them up. But what's really nice is look at that, $200,000, like the money's gonna climb forever. It'll never go down, even with the research lab. Let's check this out, 184 max budget. 277 a month. That is a crazy expensive building. Really, really crazy, but that's okay. Definitely helping us out by fighting corruption as well as... Look at that. One more. We'll wait for one more rescue raid, but it's going to help fight corruption. On top of that, it's going to give us lots of research points to research various things. So now let's go through and actually, since we're starting to build up quite a bit of tourism on the island, let's go ahead and... Modern times? No way, it's in the modern times. It is in the Cold War, right? Oh, it's up here in the edicts. Gig economy and customer service. Now, let's quickly recap these. Decreases upkeep cost and workplace happiness. So that's countered by our mandatory siestas, which increases the workplace happiness, right? So pretty much this is just going to decrease the buildings in entertainment, luxury entertainment, and tourism categories. So if we have a lot of them, then, you know, this will be very efficient.
They are like animals. They are falling over themselves for a chance to give their hard-earned money to us. We have to capitalize on that. Quantity over quality. Less upkeep means more money for us. And what are a couple of bad reviews when there are so many tourists with low standards out there?
Yes, so that pretty aptly summarizes this edict. So it's gonna make it, yeah, definitely like quantity over quality. That's what this edict's all about, and we're going for quantity, so that's gonna be pretty good. And then customer service, I'm curious about this, so let's see what Penultimo has to say.
As the old saying goes, the customer is never wrong. No matter how ridiculous or preposterous their requests are, a respectable establishment will always accommodate their customers, no matter how petty or inconsiderate they may be. Which is precisely why it's time for Tropico's tourism industry to take a step into the right direction. We need to shift our focus away from the well-being and comfort of our employees and onto our paying customers. Remember, a disgruntled employee can be replaced, but a disgruntled customer is lost forever.
Okay, so tourists receive boost to their general happiness, service quality. I mean, it's kind of terrible. A minus 15% efficiency to all entertainment, luxury entertainment, and tourism building, like every single one of them. I mean, it seems like it's like a net, not net negative or net positive, but just like, I don't know what that would be, just zeroed out, like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see though. Let's go ahead and turn these both on, that's really nice. And another one, National Day, let's go ahead and research that and enact it.
You know what helps keep the people from thinking about their troubles? A lavish, ludicrous, utterly over-the-top street party. We'll have women in absurdly sparkly dresses, unidentifiable mascots in bizarre costumes, and dodgy men eating fire for some reason. And what with all the liquid merriment before, during, and after, nobody will remember what they did last Tuesday, let alone what you did.
So the big thing is it decreases crime safety. The religious faction's going to be rather upset by it, but considering the fact that we've invited a religious person into the El Presidente Club, it should even out to roughly a -40, like just on average standing with the religious faction. So we'll try and do try and not do too many things that'll make them too upset. So National Day is really nice because it's going to increase the efficiency of cocktail bars. So what I'm curious about, I always spout this out, so now's the time to learn if it's 100% true. So service quality 122, B income $22. Now let's see. National Day, I believe it said 122, right? 129. Oh man, I always thought the B income would go up if you went up in service quality. So there's probably like 3 or 4 series out there where I say that and it's not actually true. But I mean, if you make it to the point where you're picking up on that tip, then you're probably good enough at this game to figure that out on your own. So there's that. Either way, very high service quality means more people are going to be filling into cocktail bars, which is okay with me. Now, what I'm kind of thinking is we're making so much money so quickly that it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to simply hire people onto the hotels as soon as they, as soon as I build up these buildings, just hire people in. On top of that, we can get even more people moving in with the edicts, or sorry, not edicts, but with the immigration office and Pirate Cove. Now, okay, I think I might. Okay. I said I wasn't going to do it. I was going to wait for the next episode, but we're going to do it. Because getting the Colosseum of Rome very, very soon is going to be important, because that means we can let apartment, all of the housing qualities go down, the job qualities can suffer, and every other little thing. All we need to worry about is happiness, or sorry, not happiness, food happiness and fun happiness. Food happiness will be very easy. We'll just need to make sure that we're building enough groceries, and this should be pretty much 100. And then fun happiness, we can definitely get that up quite easily as well. Just need to build up some buildings for our Tropicans to visit. What does kind of suck is that every single entertainment building that we're constructing is going to be in direct competition with our population. It's going to create competition with our population and the tourist, right? So like this casino here we made specifically for our population, but if we go through and look, I reckon it's like mostly, oh no, there's a bunch of our people working here or visiting here, but the tourists are going to show up in the buildings meant for our people. So that's not great, and there's kind of nothing we can do about it, because we're going to want these to be as high as possible, right? We're going to want to get a really good service quality on these buildings, the ones made for our population, because the fun happiness is actually going to be very, very important to the overall happiness, right? Because there's only 2 things that are going to be affecting it, which means that you can't really rely on like having a high overall average amongst all of these. You need to specifically have a high average between fun and food, and just these 2. So everything else we can let be around 50, just to kind of make sure we're not like, you know, punishing our population too much with like, you know, everyone dying from diseases and stuff. But fun and food, so like if fun's down to like 48 and then food's up at 100, that means that like one of these 2 going down is going to drag down the overall happiness, which isn't going to be great, but definitely can be manageable. Now let's go ahead and do more entertainment buildings. Let's do another casino. Yeah, look at that. That's what you want to see with tourism, is every single building just being full all the time. Means you're doing it right. Ooh, look at that. Casino down by the ocean. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do one of those. Let's do another nightclub. Kind of don't want it too close to the other one. Quick build these up, max out the budget. I didn't want to build these up because we need to hire in workers, but that's okay. There's that. And as we need electricity, we will build up additional, what are they called? Wind turbines. So 85 spare megawatts. Let's go ahead and continue building stuff up. Restaurants. I like restaurants, so let's go ahead and do one of those here, I think. And then let's go ahead and do more tourism. Hotels, I kind of like copying what we've done over here a little bit. Let's go ahead and do 2 like that, 1 like that, and 1 here. Fill in areas with parks. can kind of just go through and put really whatever. We'll try and make things look decent a little bit, but I'm not going to try too particularly hard. And we can do a 2x3 here. I'm thinking we'll do this one here. Okay, so there's all that. So much money we can just hire people in. Kids menu, 57 vacant jobs. Let's go through, just hire people for these. 18 people showed up, that's nice. Still have a lot of vacant jobs though. High school, we need to make sure that these are always full. In other words, our plantations and stuff, like the production buildings need to stay full. Some of them feed each other, some of them feed industry, so definitely just want these always to be full. There's that. Okay. I mean, screw it. Let's go ahead and get the theater and the cabaret completely full as well. So there is all of that. Let's go ahead and do yet another cabaret, I think. I like that. That looks cool. Let's go ahead and do a corner one here. And I'm thinking, oh yeah. Cool, it's like a little curve. Okay, more tourism. Tourism. Let's do a bunch of hotels now. These ones are facing away, so let's do away as well. And let's do a restaurant. And, honestly, I want to do another casino. We'll do it here. Quick build all that up. And we'll just, maybe just hire people in right away. Freezers, max out budget. Don't need to do those, so I didn't really cover it, but the hotels, both the upgrades are going to require electricity to give you bonuses to efficiency. So kind of cool, but we don't really want to be doing that right now. We'll do it maybe later on once we set up like a huge wind farm, or maybe like a nuclear power plant, just one. Playback equipment. Okay. How are we doing on electricity? We have 25 spare megawatts, that's okay. Double or nothing on these. Did I get freezers for both hotels? I did not. I reckon this one's it. Yeah. Okay. So let's go over here and quick build up a bunch of wind turbines. We have the funds. Shift control clicking. These are all backwards, but the direction really doesn't matter. That's fine, and let's max out the budget. Very, very good. Look at that. Like, money went up while that all happened. Hotel Camarote. Okay. So, let's see. Spare megawatts now. 571. That's really, really good. Okay, so we're like halfway done with this. I want to definitely get this all done. Hopefully by the end of this episode. Don't have that many vacant jobs, which is good. More tourism. Kind of like the way that looks. Let's do one directly behind it. Quick build both of those. Max out their budgets. Hire on new workers. Hotel Camarote. Kind of thinking we can do... So this one's facing towards this one. So let's do one there. I don't want to do that. Let's do a restaurant here. Quick build both of them. Max out budget, Hotel Camarote, max out budget, kids menu, freezer, misclick, okay. 2x3 park here. Very, very good. Now, why is our support going down again? That's rough to see, man. I think your overall happiness so far below the Caribbean happiness is like pretty terrible. Crime safety, I haven't even focused on that at all, and we've been building up a bunch of, what's it called? Nightclubs all over the place, which are one of the most detrimental buildings to your crime safety. So if we look like, if we put the police station way over here, we can see it's actually red around here. And so that means that tourists are going to be getting robbed. So we're definitely going to need to build up some police stations. So let's go ahead and put one here, I guess. And let's do another one. Wherever we can fit it, really. We might deconstruct something. Unless I can build up... Oof. Don't like the way that's looking. That looks kind of dumb, but let's do it. Police station. Let's place it right there. Very good. Build this down here. Quick build. Quick build. There's absolutely no way we're going to connect any roads. Actually, yeah, we can. Let's do that here. All the way down to there. And this is going to look kind of rough, but whatever. That's okay. What I don't like is this gap here. We have to make it too wide here. Like 2 spaces wide. And that's leaving a bunch of gaps in front of here. But I guess it's actually okay. We'll just throw in some parks. I like that. And then right next to the casino we can do this one. Cool. So that is okay. Let's quick build both of these. What we can do is max out their budgets, change this to always on duty. So let's go ahead and research this. Definitely a World Wars building. Control, click always on duty, and let's get second shifts for all of these, for both of them. Vacant jobs, we have a bunch of vacant jobs, so let's go ahead and hire people in for all of these police positions. And we're probably going to need some additional housing soon. Yep, way too much, what's it called? Homeless people. So tenements we can build up probably just 3. But this means that this mine is producing pollution right next to where our population is going to be living, which isn't great. And I don't want to mix tenements in amongst all of this, but what is nice is that these hotels are actually giving a well-off wage, so I reckon we can get away with building up just a couple of apartments. Let's do one here, and then in front of this casino we can do these 2. We can do that. And then we can do, I'm thinking this, and then a 2x1, the one that's like one directional. Max out the budgets on the apartments, I guess, that's fine. And then we're probably gonna need like 2 more of these. Instantly they got filled in, which is a pretty good thing. I think these are the same exact. Yeah, I hate when that happens. We'll just ignore it for now. It's okay. Alrighty. Press play for a second. Check residential occupancy. If every single residential building is completely full in an area, that typically means you need more, right? Every single tenement, every single apartment is full. So let's go ahead and build up a bit more apartment buildings. Terrain is too uneven. Is there another divot in the ground? No. I think the beach is just making it a bit rough in this area. What we can do is have this be literally at the end of the road though. And then we'll do one here. Okay, decent. And I guess we don't really need to build a road here. We can just build a park. That's cool. And we'll do this one. Control click both of those. Max out their budgets. And that seems fine. So as we can see, even all of this is still being completely lived in very, very quickly. So, matter of fact, let's check in on other areas, because real quickly I seen that a farm worker, someone working in the hydroponic plantations, oh no, he works at a casino, but he dresses like this. That's kind of crazy. And he's rich somehow. How? Casinos can give a wage of $26 a month? There's no way. Oh, doubles the wages. I didn't know that. I thought it just doubled upkeep in the fee. And the visitors stay twice as long. I didn't even really know that. Okay. So you can get a bunch of rich people on your island with double or nothing. That's pretty nifty to know. 26 wage. That's a rich wage. Cool. Okay. Well, the more you know. Down here, I guess what we can do is throw in a restaurant. Oh, if we already had a restaurant here, that's okay though. Let's go ahead and do a 3x3. Actually, let's do the 3x1, this one. And then what we can do is throw in a bunch of parks around this whole plaza. Keep it simple and just do a bunch of these ones. Little 2x1 action here. Let's put this. We have a 3x something. Let's do what we did in that other spot. Oof. This building's done. Quick build, kids menu, freezer. How many vacant jobs do we need? None. So let's go ahead and hire in people for that. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we're about halfway done with this. And I mean, I want to get as much as I can done. But it kind of takes a long time to, even though I'm doing this like almost as fast as I can, as you have to juggle other things, you know, it's not just one single thing you're trying to get done, but I also got to worry about, you know, our support and this and that. Looks like we can throw in parks here. Already, I just had a genius idea. Ministry. Let us go build this. My scroll wheel will let me place it. Boom, quick build it. Department of Economy. Capitalist candidate, so the mandatory siesta edict, once it's fully leveled up, is giving us a -8% efficiency penalty to every single building. Every single building, unless no one works in it. So I guess the, what are those one buildings? The wind turbines, they're not affected by it, but if someone works in a building, then there's a -8% efficiency. And as you can read right here, increases the efficiency of buildings on maximum budget by 7%. So if a building's on maximum budget, it's getting an extra bonus of +7% efficiency, which almost negates the mandatory siesta edict. So this is actually like really good for us. So there's that. Foreign affairs, let's do environmentalist, increases overall tourism rating by 5, so that's nice. Department of Interior, we can probably do the communist one. But also conservative, not conservative, but the intellectuals would be nice, because I do want to set up some media buildings just for the fact that we can generate money from them. But for now we'll do the communist one, that seems fine. That's just free support for now. Department of Defense, don't really need to do anything here. I guess we can do the militarist candidate just in case something does happen. All of our police stations we're building up, they'll give us military squads, infantry squads. They'll be kind of like not that great, but something's better than nothing, right? Department of Education, we're not really worried about education right now, but I guess now that I think about it, it would be a good idea to have like 1 or 2 high schools, maybe a college. Intellectuals, militarist, communist, yeah, we'll do the communist as well here. So there's all of that. Let's go ahead and just slap down a high school. Can definitely afford it with the amount of money we're generating. Man, I don't hate this spot. Let's go ahead and max out the budget. We can pick up interactive education. We got the electricity for it. And now we just need people to fill that in. Let's go ahead and quick fill all of these slots, I guess. Real quick, let's go through and double check, make sure this is all the edicts that I wanted. Good old days. It increases religious standing, that's nice. Decreases intellectual standing by 15. But does cultural diversity... I was hoping that this would increase intellectual standing, but what is nice is that this is a huge debuff to conservative standing, right? But everything else is really good. Immigration rate, we want that. Tourism rating, we want that. But, as you might have already come to the conclusion, we can't actually affect our conservative faction standing. It's at 70 and that's it. So, with the conservative person being in our El Presidente club, cultural diversity is strictly a good thing. It only gives us the bonuses. So let's go ahead and turn that on. We don't even need to research it, which is nice. Legalized substances. I mean, I want to turn it on, but a minus 20 to the religious standing. Let's go see what they're at. They're at 55. But the edict modifiers are starting to stack up. Action leader. So the person working inside of the El Presidente club, they're giving us plus 17, which is nice. National Day, no free lunch, so we don't really want to do anything else that's going to make them too upset. And there's only like one thing I can think of that's going to actually increase their standing, which is this. So plus 10 point bonus, so we should do this. Oh man, we're starting to punish the intellectuals though. So this to me is like peak Tropico playing. It's like you're trying to balance different things. And so whenever you're, you know, like if we took everyone away from the religious standing and put them in the militarist faction, sorry, everyone away from the religious faction and put them in the militarist faction, then we could, you know, just make the religious faction as upset as we wanted to, because there'd only be like, you know, 20 people trying to burn down buildings, which wouldn't be bad at all. But because everything's like balanced, we have to play in a rather balanced way. So maybe we won't end up turning on legalized substances at all. It just depends. We'll come back to this later on. I might even do some theory crafting before my next recording or after this one. Just come up with a couple of ideas, like what's gonna be best, the most balanced, what shoots for the middle. Anyways, let's focus on trying to get this done. We have a high school. We got a bunch of extra stuff, and I guess, well, it just depends. Next episode, maybe we'll focus on trying to make our population as happy as possible. Want to make this one 3 wide, a gap of 3 in between these, because this means that I can do this, and then this side still matches up. So that seems fine to me there. Let's go ahead and do yet another building, a nightclub. Can do another one here, I guess. Let's quick build this one. Actually, leave it on not for tourist only. Our population can come to this one. That's fine. Let's go ahead and quick build all these hotels. Max out all their budgets. Make them all on Hotel Camarote. What about this one? Are you on it? No. Check population, 83 vacant jobs. So let's start hiring in just a bunch of people to come work here. And of course, we gotta make sure that none of the high school jobs are vacant. Trying to spam build without making it too repetitive and stuff, but right here seems okay. What? Oh no, okay, I was about to say 61 people showed up, but it's clearly because I'm hiring on new people, so not that many people are showing up. Tourist ship, that's really, really nice. Man, we're making so much money. This building wasn't on the max budget for a long time, kind of an oversight, but I think it's okay. Real quick, before we get too far into it, let's do the Childhood Museum and quickly see what bonuses we can get from this building. I guess it would be kind of cool to do this building kind of next to the high school. Let's max out the budget, and what we can do is come research this building. I think it's a Cold War building. Childhood Museum. Now, I've kind of failed in setting this building up in every single one of my runs, but it's always got something interesting. There's just going to be something that's, you know, potentially can be beneficial to your build. And as a matter of fact, I never, like even worse than that, I never do the mausoleum. So let's actually do that. Bring this road all the way down. I might do a bit reorganizing. I might even do it like out of the recording. So I'm definitely sort of spam building through a lot. Mausoleum, okay. Oxford graduate increases approval visiting citizens, increases efficiency of all libraries, research lab, high schools, and colleges. All industrial buildings, all ranches and factory ranches, barracks, army bases, commando garrisons, plantations and mines, all public service buildings, all luxury entertainment buildings. This is the one, Golden Spoon. Increases approval of visiting citizens, increases efficiency of all luxury entertainment buildings by 5%. USA, Middle East, Russia all have a constant relationship bonus of plus 15 on base efficiency. So if it's higher than 100 efficiency, we get even more out of that. Western powers, Eastern Bloc. EU and China have a constant relationship penalty of -3, but that's okay. Capitalists get a 15 bonus to their standing, so that's all just going to be very, very good for us. Animatronics, we can do this maybe. Do you have electricity for it? I think we do, yeah. So that's fine. Let's see what the efficiency comes up to. 89, that's okay. Not too bad. Maybe what we could do is make this only, oh no. It doesn't charge anything, so making it for tourist only isn't going to give us any additional benefit. So we'll leave it for our population as well. The mausoleum, let's go and max out the budget. We researched it already, and let's check this out. The bonus of on approval of visiting citizens and the final rating of tourists is decreased by 10? What? Each citizen oriented towards a communist or intellectual faction visiting the mausoleum increases the standing with the corresponding... Okay, so... I mean, this one's kind of whatever. Ooh, the bonus on the approval of visiting citizens and the final rating of tourists is increased by 10. Okay. Decreased, 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 but this one's increased by 10. Okay. Each citizen oriented towards the environmentalist or religious faction visiting the mausoleum increases the standing of the corresponding faction by 0.02. So we'll definitely choose this one. It's not giving us a really good service quality. Cryogenic bolt. $100 megawatts of electricity. I mean, we don't really need all that, but I mean the bonuses are kind of whatever. I was kind of hoping that this building, I don't build it enough to know exactly what it does, but I'm starting to at least pick up on the childhood museum eventually. Hopefully I can remember all these different things. But this one's more like if you were making your island specialized in terms of your various factions, like if you were choosing this one or that one, like this option that we chose, the Custodian of Harmony. If you had everyone oriented towards the environmentalist or religious factions, that would be way, way better, but that's okay. Archipelago, he always says that. Honestly, I think I'm willing to cheat on the next faction. Sorry, the next election if we need to. I'm starting to get kind of sleepy, so sorry if I'm jumbling up my words. I'm doing my best to keep myself as coherent as possible here. We did a nightclub just now. Let's do a beach resort. Can do this one, I guess, over here, anywhere really. Let's do it here. Which way does it go out? I like that, right there. Go and quick build that, max out its budget. Don't need to change this. We can do that. Okay, 89. I feel like, what is going on? I feel like, the customer service is giving us penalties. That's kind of annoying. I mean, it's whatever though. Low rebel threat. It must be a faction that's upset with us. The intellectuals are now getting upset. Let's go see why. Childhood Museum and the Mausoleum made him upset. Gig Economy makes him upset. It didn't mention that, did it? Gig Economy? No, it doesn't mention that. That's kind of wild. That's the first time I've ever seen an edict that didn't mention literally everything that it does. I mean, I guess that's kind of whatever. But, I mean, we're so close. I want to get this done. Snorkel Bay. Let's build one here for now. Quick build that on up. Max out its budget. I mean, I feel like I'm just so crammed for time. I might even just end this episode here. I mean, we're definitely making some good progress. The money is just flying in. Rescue raids are getting done. Population is exploding through the roof. We're building so much up that we're like constantly running out of housing. Like a lot's happening and it's really, really good. Let's go ahead and just throw some apartments here. I guess we can kind of copy what we're doing. Max out the budget. Just so many tourists are showing up. I think I'm gonna end this episode here. I'm just getting too sleepy to keep up with everything, and the quality is just gonna continue to deteriorate. I'll start like mispronouncing lots of words, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. But let's go ahead and check some stuff out. Current tourist, wow, 1,350 tourists. Is that twice as much? That's almost twice as much, if it isn't more, than our current population. That's really crazy, man. It'd be crazy if you could get it like really, really high up, like 10 times as many. Imagine we have 6,000 people on the island, 6,000 tourists right now. That'd be crazy. I don't think it's really possible though, but there's that. Another pretty interesting thing we can check out is revenue. If we click on local services, oh no, tourist services, fees and rents, look at that, $0.28 million made. And this is over the last 12 months. So as you can imagine, as we continue to expand our tourism, numbers are going to continue to climb through the roof. And so, of course, we're going for quantity over quality, right? And so as we continue to make it like way further, every little bonus that we're getting to tourism rating, you know, bonuses to fees. So as you can imagine, like legalized substances, the one potentially up to 3 extra dollars, that's going to be multiplied times 6. So what is that? 3 times 6 is 18. 18 times every single tourist, potentially. I'm not sure what the numbers are going to equal out to exactly, but if we did what is that? 18 times our current tourist, 18 times 1,300. I can't math right now, but 18 is pretty close to 20, so let's round down 1,300 to 1,200. So 1,200 times 20 is 2,400, 24,000, and let's multiply it times 3. 74,000 extra dollars, potentially. It's somewhere in that realm. $74,000, and that's per rotation of tourists, right? So I'm not sure how long the average like tourist stay is, but whatever it is, $74,000, and that's just with 1,300 tourists, right? And if we had the edict fully maxed out, but that would be really, really nice. And so what we might end up doing is, I don't want corruption to get too bad, because if corruption gets like just completely unhinged, like if you have like maxed out corruption, then there's almost no way to deal with the crime safety. Already, as you can see, crime safety is starting to go down. Actually, it's not going down. This is probably all due to the fact that we have the National Day turned on. And so a way you can figure out if you have corruption is to click on Liberty or Crime Safety, one or the other, and then check out Liberty Happiness modifiers. Corruption, -2. Crime Safety. So it looks like corruption affects Liberty more than it affects crime safety. That's kind of interesting. Something that I didn't know. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. In the next episode, we will 100% finish up this island, and we'll try and move on to 2 other islands, I think. On top of that, there's just a bunch of other various things that I want to do with our main island here. I want to set up all the raid buildings, get all the raids going. Made some pretty good progress, like industry, production, all taken care of, probably for the rest of the run, this little area here. Electricity is going to be very easy to continue the expansion of that. And so we probably won't do any electricity for any of our tourists here. We're just going to keep it like bare bones, just basic hotels, no electricity. That's fine. I mean, maybe if we can afford it way in the future, I might do like one or the other, elevators or air conditioning. But for right now, I mean, it's fine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to follow along with more Tropico 6 series like this, then be sure to subscribe. Peace.